What's up everyone, it's Ben here from Rare Liquid, and today I'm in one of the nicest apartments I've ever been to in my entire life here in Tribeca, Manhattan, New York City. Now, of course, I'm gonna give you all a tour of this amazing apartment, but I thought it would be also really interesting, especially given that Rare Liquid is a finance channel, to focus the other half of the video more on things like the mortgage, things like property tax, all the extra little fees and costs it takes to live in an apartment like this. So that'll be the rest of the video. Before getting started, also wanted to give a huge thank you to Sirhan for inviting me to this apartment to showcase it to all of you. And I'll leave a link to this listing if you guys want to check out more photos, more information about the property down in my description below. So we're gonna actually start in the downstairs loft, which is an amazing space where, as you can see, you can just chill here with your friends, and there's also a bed right here. Could also serve as a guest room. Now you're gonna see a lot of really great furniture throughout the place as well. I was told to furnish this place for the listing, it cost $38,000. All right, so that was the downstairs loft. A lot left to show you guys. Let's walk upstairs to the main area of the entire apartment. So this is a side bedroom in a sense, and I think this can be used as an office, a study, or it can be, if you have kids, like a kid's room. There's like a bunk bed right here. So a really nice, cozy place where you can just kind of fit to whatever you want, maybe even make it a game room if you're interested in something like that. One of the cool things about this room is that there's a lot of natural light. There's a skylight up over here that just pours a lot of sunlight. Right now it's a little bit dark, so unfortunately you can't see it. But I think it's great that it provides a lot of natural sunlight throughout this entire room. Next up here, we have the master bedroom. And I guess this is what a $6 million master bedroom looks like. Let's next walk into the bathroom, which I think is one of the nicest parts of the entire apartment. As you can see, there's a lot of wood everywhere. Kind of gives a nice Japanese type vibe or a sauna spa type vibe. So just really peaceful and relaxing. And there's also this nice, really big tub here, which is pretty uncommon to find in New York City bathrooms. And I think one of the first things I'd probably do if I owned this place was to take a nice steaming hot bath in this bathtub. So now we're walking through what I consider honestly my favorite part of the entire apartment, which is this super nicely lighted hallway where you can host or put up your different art pieces, portraits, and things like that. And as someone who really enjoys art, but honestly can't afford really expensive pieces, this is kind of a hallway that I would kind of dream of to host and put up a lot of my different pieces. So now we're in the main kitchen area, and I wanted to call out two details that I noticed that I really liked. First off, this refrigerator looks like it's just part of the wall, but it's actually a refrigerator. And I think it's just nice that it's so well disguised almost. It looks like it could just be a cabinet, but it's actually a refrigerator. And the second thing is how the marble is so well integrated into the sink that the entire thing is just marble. I think normally, you go to see a sink and it's just metallic, silver, etc. But I think it was just a really nice detail that the entire sink is all marble. Then as you walk deeper into the kitchen, you have an oven here on the left and then a pantry with a sliding door. All right, now let me introduce you all to the great room of this entire apartment. And as you can see, it looks super nice. You have this really large space for a dining table that fits, looks like 10 people. And then over here, you have the living room where you can just host any of guests after you have dinner, just lounge on the couches over here. If you walk in over here, you have this small little bedroom. I think it'd be perfect actually for, those friends where you guys are drinking together and then the one that passes out early. We have the living room that is right over here. And so this small bedroom would be perfect for those kind of people. One thing that's really cool about this place is that there's a working fireplace, which is pretty rare in Manhattan. And also, if you go over here, there's actually a lot of firewood that's stocked and ready to use. Actually, when I was really young, my family and I would always sit by the fireplace during Christmas and then roast potatoes underneath the fire wrapped in aluminum foil. And that's what this kind of reminds me of. It'd be great to have something like this in my own home in the future. Another really cool feature about this apartment is that the way you enter in is actually through the elevator. All right, so that was the end of the apartment tour. As you guys can see, just a really nice place to live. Very kind of luxurious type of feeling. All it kind of feels like an art gallery to me actually. And let's now move on to the next part of the video, which will be me kind of talking more about the finances of living and owning a place like this in New York. Before we move on to that though, do you want 15 free stocks? Because if you do, you're gonna wanna learn about today's sponsor for the video, moomoo. Moomoo is an investing app geared towards investors who like lots of data, and that's why I personally like it. For example, if you go to the financials tab, you can see a company's revenue breakdown, in addition to a bunch of key indicators, and in the summary tab, you can easily find information on top shareholders, detailed bios about key executives, and more. Moomoo also really differentiates itself by offering free level 2 trading, which shows you which market participants are making trades, the size of their orders, and prices offered, and this is something most other brokerages make you pay extra for. In addition to all this, moomoo has 24/7 customer service via phone, live chat, or email, so you know you're taken care of if you ever have any issues. Now, of course, I didn't forget about those 15 free stocks. Moomoo right now is doing a giveaway until the end of December, where if you deposit $1,000, then you'll get up to 15 free stocks. And if you want to open up an account and just check it out, you'll also get 1 free stock as well. So if you're interested in any of this, feel free to check out moomoo using my link down in the description below. Okay, now next up, let's go into the economics of owning an apartment like the one I just showed you. Now, to be honest, I made this section of the video because I was really curious about New York real estate, and I had 2 goals. First was understanding what all the details are for the small and large costs when you purchase a home, because I've never bought any real estate before. And then the second was kind of doing some back of the envelope, really quick math to figure out what you need to be making per year in order to purchase a place like the one at 11 Vestry. And so what I'm going to show you guys is the true upfront costs of what it takes to purchase a place like this, and then the monthly costs. And please note that a lot of this is based on my own research and hypothetical assumptions. So if you end up buying 11 Vestry and the numbers are a little bit different, please don't sue me. After doing some research, I learned that in New York, there's something called the mansion tax, which is a tax on the wealthy that's applied anytime you purchase a property over $1 million, and it increases as the purchase price goes up. So for this apartment, it's 2.25% of about $6 million, which results in a tax of $136,000. You then have what's called a mortgage recording tax, which is a one-time fee assessed for the quote-unquote privilege of purchasing and financing a piece of property. This is 1.925% of the loan you take out, which in our case was about $4.8 million, resulting in a one-time cost of $93,000. Next is a loan origination fee because, of course, banks gotta get paid. And this is what the bank charges you for creating your loan. And this is around 0.5 to 1% of your loan. So I just took the average to get 0.75%, multiplied this by our mortgage, and this results in a cost of $36,000. We then have title insurance, which protects you from defects in a title to the property. And this is about 0.4% of your purchase price, which for us results in a cost of $24,000. Next up are 2 smaller items that I've just estimated to be about 0.1% of your purchase price. And these include attorney and bank fees and other miscellaneous fees for things like appraisal fees, move-in deposits, credit checks, and more. All of this is to say that along with the purchase price of about $6 million, you have additional closing costs of $300,000 or so, which results to about 5% of the purchase price and a total of $6,350,000 upfront. Now, at this point of the video, after hearing all these crazy numbers, if you're starting to feel poor like I am, I honestly don't have a lot of comforting words for you because the punches are gonna keep on coming as we go into our monthly costs. Let's start with the biggest one, which is the mortgage. With a purchase price of about $6 million and a standard down payment of 20%, which is $1.2 million, you'll need to take out a loan of about $4.8 million. The 30-year mortgage rate as of the filming of this video is 6.57%, which gets you to a monthly cost of a whopping $30,790, which goes all to your mortgage. We next move on to property taxes, and in New York, you have to first identify your property's assessed value, which I tracked down to be $150,943, and this seems a bit low, but it's what the numbers say. You then multiply by the tax rate, which is 12.27%, to get an annual property tax of $18,516, which when divided by 12 is $1,543 a month. Then for repairs, of course, if you don't have any, then this is $0, but it's good to be conservative. And so I've modeled in a 2.5% of monthly mortgage costs to get us to $725 a month. For common charges, this includes costs for things like amenities, doorman, and etc., which for this apartment comes out to $1,730 a month. And lastly, I've estimated $200 for homeowner's insurance and $500 a month for utilities. All of this brings us to extra monthly costs of $4,743 per month, which is pretty crazy because this is 1 to 2 months worth of New York rent just for the extra monthly costs alone. And so combining the extra monthly costs with the mortgage cost of $30,790, we get a total of about $35,000, which is similar to the cost of an undergrad student's annual tuition. Now let's move on to the second goal I had for this section of the video, which was figuring out about how much you need to be making per year in order to afford a place like this. It's a lot. First of all, for the upfront costs, you're going to need to have the 20% down payment of about $1.2 million, and then $300,000 for the closing costs that we went over earlier, which gets us to about $1.5 million. Then for your monthly and annual required income, there are various ways to think about this, but I'm going to just assume that your monthly costs should at max take up 1/3 of what you're making each month in terms of gross income, which means you need to be making about $107,000 a month pre-tax. And if you multiply this by 12, then about $1.28 million per year. All right, so that concludes the economics of owning a place like the one at 11 Vestry. And let me know what you all thought in the comments below. I also want to keep doing more of these apartment tours, and for this video I had to kind of film everything myself, but it'd be great if I had a videographer. So if you know a videographer in New York, or if you are one yourself and you're interested in helping film, it would be a paid gig. Feel free to email me at ben@rareliquid.com. Also, if you want to start earning that money in order to afford a place like this apartment that I showed you, feel free to check out moomoo to get those 15 free stocks and start building out your wealth. Also, another huge thank you to Sirhan for allowing me to view and tour this apartment. Description to the listing is down in the comments below. That said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope to catch you all in the next apartment tour. Thanks and peace out.